everybody and welcome back to another blind let's play of Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Returning once again to the start screen is quite an event, I must say. Just seeing her all messed up like this is really kinda screwed up. And I actually have the Explorer here, so I've been told that I need to kind of go down the rabbit hole if I want to explore some of the oh my goodness. There's all of the characters here, actually. Interesting. So you can actually go around exploring here if you want to. So, I was told that I should probably do that at some point, so we will probably do that eventually. Though I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to do, so I was just told that I should go down the rabbit hole at some point, so yeah. What is this? Oh yeah, I have already shown this, so yeah, I will show you all things once everything is important. So let's just continue. So let us continue writing the poem. I doubt that it matters really what I write, so let's just actually, oh, they actually bounce. Actually, can I get only Yuri bouncing? That would be interesting. I'm gonna try to get only Yuri bouncing because it would appear that this is kind of their mood meter. Kind of, possibly. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if that even matters at all, so it's unimportant, I think. But we'll see. It's just an interesting little mini game, I suppose. Entropy, disoriented, hopeless. Doki Doki. That's just a fun little one to pick. So, Esther, anxiety. No, I don't know. Melody, whatever. Agonizing. Yep, sure. It's fine. It's fine. Hi again, Ganmu. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, dear lord, it's happening to her as well. Thank you for keeping your promise, Ganmu. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. You're standing in front of the text, Monica. I can't read. Natsuki finds herself stuck between the words saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Ganmu. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, not sure in the club and all. Perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels natural. Feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait. I didn't mean it like that. You don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just feel like, well, as a vice president at all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice its expression and see it from my kitchen. We're just gonna speed through some of the text that I know that that happened already, so just be prepared for that. I hope that I remember what text we already read, and I won't accidentally skip over anything new. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of her of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I'm utterly sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious there that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Huh, a nice parallel to the one that we are actually reading or to Doki Doki Literature Club now, actually. How hilarious. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Genmu? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we are all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Well... That was unexpected. Not again. I'm sorry. I don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body... I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I sleep in the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. You sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start reading the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... You really apologize a lot, don't you? We're just gonna skip over that black text. What the hell was that? That was... unexpected. Things are starting to get even more trippy now, aren't they? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it a bit kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and on the right side of the book. And that way I turn a page and Yuri slides under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yep. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page, each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really. I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. Yeah, that's just okay. Yeah, she definitely isn't relating to her at all, to the character. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Ha. Yuri, are you feeling alright? I don't have a good feeling about this anymore. Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you are feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts a hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Ganmu? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing at all. Nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd start without her. Is that okay? I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay. Well, let's read Natsuki's first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Ganmu, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. But do you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Oh, it's the same one. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, just because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when she's read, like, it's the same thing. It's the exact same. And then Monica. Hi Ganmu. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Genmu. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? It's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. That's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Ganmu. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. I don't mean that it's a bad thing, like it's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally just given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Yep, it's the same one. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. There's a lot of poems when performed out loud. Ooh, actually. Interesting. That actually gives quite a bit of perspective, the hole in the wall, and she had an epiphany. It's... Oh dear lord! Why did I look at this? Look at that file name. I'm sure if you can read it properly. Oh dear lord. It's actually a poem. That little devil inside all of us, beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality, It's a writhing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all rushing to escape the feeble hold of their host, seeping through every little crevice they can find, into their willpower, starving them all of motivation and desire, into their stomach, forcing them to drown in the guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such deplorable tangled mess is already present in every single one of them. That's why I chose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot. Hey. Okay. 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 Can manage this. I can manage this. Okay. And then finally Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Huh? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. I did read her mind. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? You use imagery and metaphors, indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Oh, it's almost like we've gone through this loop one time already. Really? Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. It just meant that, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in neurodiverse yep. Yuri finds her train of thought. It's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone. I'm just finding them, building them. This is still the same thing. Never mind, I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. Not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me or not. Natsuki, do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. And now I have a really bad feeling that we're gonna read something horrifying, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, it's just the same poem. Okay, good. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read it. Actually, no, it took me like 2 seconds. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Uh-huh. Actually, these stories aren't about ghosts at all, Ganmu. Really, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's still the same thing. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Ganmu. Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. I was probably just imagining that the soundtrack was a little messed up. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is all religious club after all, I sigh. Guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika's writing something in her notebook. Eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What is with this language? How are we able to read their thoughts? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. Just me, the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean to have to try how it comes to... we have already read this. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would ask someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Ganmo did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I do not expect to change anytime soon. And Ganmo liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up. Maybe you're just jealous just Ganmu appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I know. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger. This doesn't involve you taking out her insecurity, blah 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 blah. Edgy. Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Oh dear lord. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by addressing and acting cute? This is all rather strange. The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Well, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh my bad, you already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? That's... What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Ganmu hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Ganmu? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Well, that's fucked up. I'm gonna be Yuri. Oh dear lord! Oh god! Oh dear lord! Hey Ganmu, why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. I'm some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members, probably. Oh, shit, what just happened? That was rather messed up. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Oh. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? Oh dear lord, I've got a real bad feeling about it. I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Kanmu? Please don't hate me. Please? I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Oh dear lord, I am not prepared. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can just go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I just didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Kanmu. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate. Okay, that might be a good stopping point for today. So, thank you all very much for watching. I'll hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Gonna move out. I'm gonna go wash myself. I feel dirty. I feel sick. I feel awful. I don't know what to say. That was fucked up. Hey, but they're both still alive, so that's positive. I get the feeling that they're both going to die by the end of this. Oh dear lord. Oh god damn. Okay, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the future, and Ganmu out. Thanks for watching.